That's why I tried to do the research, but again.
No, don't worry. My name is Mia Osborne and I'm the Creative Spaces producer, which means I have the pleasure of working with the associates over the 10-month period.
When you started as the Creative Spaces producer, which would have been how many years ago now?
2 years ago?
2 years ago. You're getting a different team of young people each year.
Yeah.
How has that changed the programme each year and how challenging has that been for you?
So it's changed it massively. I mean, Creative Spaces is one of these projects where it really does, just like the year moulds to who the people are that are applying. This year have very much programmed on a basis of like, what is fun that we want to do. If you feel passionate about a project, then the passion that you have for it translates into the messaging and people get that. In terms of challenges, I don't really know if there is many, because I think part of the development is like us working together as a team to try and figure out those challenges and try and figure out as a team how we manage that.
Hi, I'm Martha, one of the Creative Spacers this year.
Hello, my name is Korey Patterson and I was one of the 3 Creative Spacers for the last 10 months.
Hi, I'm Sahar and my journey with Creative Spaces actually started at last year's showcase event.
I'm an aspiring set designer. So before starting Creative Spaces, I just quit a corporate job in law and moved back to Dumfries.
Creative Spaces programme has helped me identify the value of my skills as an illustrator.
It is possible to be a thriving young creative in Dumfries and Galloway.
What type of young people are you looking for?
There's been like similar trends with the associates and the applications that we've had in the past 3 years. It's really about the individual, and generally we're looking for people who show a really keen interest in the creative industries. Usually people join Creative Spaces because there's just something that they're wanting to explore, whether that be as big as like they're wanting to explore their whole creative practice, or there's something about their creative practice that they've never had the time to figure out for themselves. From the beginning, people maybe have a kind of clear idea, but towards the end that completely shifts. And I think through mentoring or through working directly with Stove projects, that can totally alter someone's perspective of what they want to do.
What did you go into Creative Spaces hoping to gain, and how has that changed and grown throughout the time here?
Before I started, I really wanted to work in creative industries, but I genuinely was like starting from nothing, and I know that a lot of it is basically having to really put yourself out there. So at the start it was definitely just like grow my confidence, just get the experience, and then as the 10 months went, I didn't realise how much the actual programming and stuff we were doing was relevant to what it was I wanted to pursue. It's been really cool to actually properly develop and evolve the programming around what I genuinely want to do.
To be a capable freelancer, because I didn't know any sort of business skills, I didn't have any networking connections or anything like that. And then I got that just from being in the vicinity of the stove anyway. So then that developed into pursuing my illustration skill. That became my sort of main avenue for being a freelancer. So it wasn't just being a freelancer, it was being a freelance illustrator.
So when I joined Creative Spaces, I just wanted some time in my schedule to be able to think creatively and make stuff and think about my goals and what I wanted to learn, because I was just filling up every day of the week with doing things for work and for volunteering and for other people. So it's really helped me to do that. It's also just like grown my confidence a lot more than I thought it would.
You yourself are a young person. You're working in a very creative space. How has it been for you? How do you feel you've progressed?
To be honest with you, the first 6 months I had like major imposter syndrome. Both 2 years that I've been the producer, I've always been the youngest in the group. And I think you've kind of got that idea of like, oh my god, I'm the youngest, and that must mean that I'm not as qualified, which is obviously isn't true. But I think my progression in Creative Spaces has been a lot to do with the Stove team and the support that they've given me to take Creative Spaces as a project and really put my own stamp on it.
What are your hopes for the future?
Big picture, obviously I'd like to be an illustrator, like solely an illustrator. If that would bring in enough money to sort of live on and sustain a lifestyle, that would be great. This past 10 months has taught me to sort of dedicate the time to the pursuit of what you are interested in, because you never know what's around the corner, I suppose.
I've like hopped around potential career paths all my life, and I've been a bit of a flake in that sense. I was worried that I just liked the idea of going into set design or production design, but the reality of it is something that doesn't actually motivate me, but I've become so obsessed. So that's nice to know that I actually am motivated to do that, and I somehow got accepted onto my dream trainee scheme for art department roles in high-end TV. It's really cool to know that outsiders looking in can also see how valuable the community art projects in our region are too.
I didn't think that I was allowed to say, I want to be an actor. I didn't think that that was a dream that was accessible to me or something that people wouldn't laugh at. But just like having that practice and, you know, the safety of the Stove team to be able to actually tell the truth about that, yeah, that's totally transformed my dreams for the future.
For creative spaces, I think it has the real potential to stand on its own 2 feet. I think the momentum there and the structure and the way that I now know the rhythm, I think it has the potential to be its own group or organisation. And I think that also could allow a lot more fluidity, popping up in different, like literal creative spaces, occupying different places, not just within Dumfries, but within Dumfries and Galloway. And I think for myself, within that project, I would just like to help guide that into a place where it can have real impact, not just for 3 people, but for young creatives throughout Dumfries and Galloway, south of Scotland. I think the possibilities for the project really are huge, and I think we've seen that with what it's done for the creative spacers for the past 3 years and just how they've come out the other end.
Brilliant.